I don't have all the magical answers, gang. I don't. Okay, I do know this. The first thing you got to do is you got to work on your attitude. People make fun of you. Who cares? Okay? Somebody says it's not the right thing. Hey, you got to know it's the right thing in your heart. And you can only know that by using the products and getting people on the products and having them make comments back to you on how incredible this is. The only way you're going to know that is by being active and starting to make some money yourself and get someone else who starts making some money, and they come to you and say, you know something? I hated my job at IBM, and this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Thank you so much. You got to know that in your heart, gang. And you got to convince yourself. You got to work on yourself every single day. And if you'll get up every morning and you'll work on your own self, because that's your biggest job in Herbalife, okay? You can conquer anything in your life if you want to, if you just keep working on yourself. There's going to be things that happen to you all day long that try to get you sidetracked. There's going to be people that tell you no, and you're going to get sidetracked. But you got one or two choices when you get sidetracked. You can either say, oh, poor, miserable me. Why does it always have to happen to me? And you can keep whining, and you can keep complaining, and you can keep being miserable, or you can say, I'm going to make the best out of it I possibly can and go back and talk with more enthusiasm to the next person, just like you did. You know how enthusiastic you are when you make 10 sales? It's easy to be excited then, right? Here's when you got real leadership, is when 10 people have said no, and you don't feel good, and 5 of your people have dropped out on you, okay? And someone's making fun of you, and things aren't going right, and 2 straight weeks, you work till midnight every single night, and the whole thing's falling apart on you. When you can pitch and get your attitude, I gotta say this one, and you faking it till you make it. By acting maybe mentally that it's gonna happen. By acting like your best presentation is gonna happen, like you just made 10 sales. That's when you got some true leadership, okay? You can go as far as you want to go because that's the way it is in Herbalife. And you got to remember, there's a lot of what goes into Herbalife. It's not only just the product, it's not only just a marketing plan, but there's other people in the company that are making this thing happen too. There's thousands and thousands of employees and stuff like that are making this whole thing jive. There's a president's team down here that's in the groove with each other with all the STSs that are going on. That is powerful. We need one team of people in this entire auditorium marching out of this meeting when we go back to our own countries and our own little homes and say, hey, we got the best company in the world. We are the ones. We got the products. We got the leadership. We are the most unbelievable people. We're simply the best. I want you to write down on your notes here. It's not important where I'm at right now. It's where I can be in the future that's important. That has really been the miracle of Herbalife. People have always asked me, why is it that so many different people from so many different backgrounds, from so many different cultures, speaking so many different languages, are successful in Herbalife? It's because of the products. When people get on them, it's unbelievable. Because let me tell you something, gang. If we want to make it a better world, it starts with us. It isn't going to happen at the election. It isn't going to happen through our government. It's going to be through people like ourselves taking charge with our own lives, taking charge for not only our health, our financial situation, and all of us together. Seriously, I mean, there's not another company I can think of that's having the life-changing type experiences that Herbalife is having, not just here, but throughout the world. And I'll tell you something, together, we can all make this a better world for people to live in. I learned more about my life and more about living and more about what I was doing in business through the hardest times in my life, not through the best times in my life. Because when things are difficult and when things are not good, your true character in life, how much of a man or a woman you're going to be, is that's when it really shows. That's when it shines. That's when you can teach yourself the most. That's when you can teach your children the most, okay? That's when you can teach your downline the most. That's when you can provide it for your family. Listen, all of our families need someone that they can look up to. And let me tell you, not just our families. It starts family by family, town by town. But let me tell you what we're doing in Herbalife. We're teaching the world how they ought to be able to live. Everybody needs some guidance in this world today. My goodness, if you look at the circumstances in the world today, with the fighting that's going on, with the people that don't love each other, with the people that can't get along with things, where else can we have a room in the world today where there's so many different languages and so many different personalities and so many different religious situations where everybody can come together at one single time with one common bond to help people with better nutrition and to help people better their lives. We got to be the most outstanding leadership that's running this world. Really, this is what it's about. The opportunity in Herbalife, regardless of your skin, regardless of your background, regardless of your area, regardless of your sex, is exactly the same for each and every one of us. So have some faith as you leave this room here in the months to come, as you see us again, that if the people up on this stage can do it, that you can do it as long as you try every single day. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your customers. Have the faith to stick with some of your customers. You're going to have customers that say, oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time losing the weight. Hey, listen, you're going to have more faith in your customers sometimes than they even have in themselves. And they're going to need that guidance, and they're going to need that encouragement. Have faith in your distributors. You're going to need more faith in your distributors than they've gotten themselves. Okay? And when you have that kind of faith, there's no telling what could happen. Stay loyal to all the Herbalife rules. They're not easy sometimes, but you got to do it. You got to do it for you. You got to do it for your kids, and you got to do it for the company. Because if you don't stay within some of the Herbalife rules over the years to come, we won't be able to continue to provide these products to every single person in the world. Some of you sometimes think, well, geez, I'll break this little rule, and I'll do this, and I'll ship some products over to, some different countries where it doesn't make any difference. Hey, it does make some difference. Because if Herbalife's not around, none of us are around. So we got to make certain that each and every day we protect the rules and regulations of all of our distributorships, because the company is the goose that laid the golden egg. And trust me, I have never seen a goose put out so many golden eggs in my entire life as we've been putting out. It's really up to you. How much you're going to believe in these products, how much you're going to believe in the marketing plan, how much you're going to go out and talk to people, how consistently you're going to go out and talk to people, because you can all get there. Because let me tell you something, I've seen them all get there. It's just unbelievable. I've seen them get there in 6 months, I've seen them get there in 2 years, and I've seen them get there in 17 years. Does it make any difference? No. Okay? You can't become a president's team. The only thing that separates you from not getting on the president's team is one thing. Write this down. Giving up. Giving up. Would it be so bad to wait 17 years to get on the president's team? No. So after all the stuff that you got to do, the biggest thing after that is all you got to do is not quit. You got to stay. And you got to do it over and over and over and over and over again. And then sometimes when you get sick and tired of doing this, okay, your spouse is beating up on you and she's saying, you're going to go out there again, try to sell some of that stuff, okay? And your negative old relatives are still going at you and saying, man, you still doing that Herbalife thing? When are you going to grow up and do a big man's job? And you go out and do it over and over and over and over. And I promise you, if you want to, you can get onto the president's team. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy to go out and make $10,000 a month. Obviously, you're going to have to work hard to make that kind of money. I'm not saying that it's easy to go out and become a multimillionaire. Obviously, you're going to have to do a lot of work to do that. But the things that you have to do to make lots of money with Herbalife are not that difficult to do. The things that you're going to have to say to people to interest them in the products and interest them in the business are not that difficult to do. Otherwise, we wouldn't have so many people from so many different backgrounds doing it. So here's what I like to do. Everything about the products is simple. Write that down. Everything that you say about the products, you want it to be simple. And the reason it's so very, very important that you keep it simple is so that other people can hear what you're saying, number one, but more importantly, people can do the things that it is that you say. Because if the things that you say are not that difficult to do, and if they're not in everything that it is on the products, it's not that difficult to say, who will then say it? Lots of people. And then who will do it? Lots of people. That's the very point. Because trying to do this on your own, you can only make so much money. With your own two lips and your own two legs walking out there and talking to people, you're limited in how much money that you can make because there's only so many hours in the day. But if you have two people that are doing this with you, you can literally make twice as much money. If you have 100 people doing this, you can do 100 times the amount of making money. And if you have thousands and thousands of people doing this, it will be unbelievable. Mark it down in your notes. This could be the day that changes your life. Trust me, I can tell you with absolute sincerity, anything is possible if you just keep using, where, and talking and do it over and over and over and over and over again. The wildest dreams you've ever thought of can come true in Herbalife.
Oh snap. What up, what up, what up? Obviously it's not Chuck or Jen. It's your boy, Jerry. Welcome to the Monday Night Distributor Call, Do It 24 crew, gang, gang, always. If you don't know me, my name is Jerry Cooper. Oh, let me stop this right there. Okay, yeah, you guys can hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Awesome. Good. For sure. So, like I'm saying, Jerry Cooper, if you do not know me, I've been on the team I signed up July 13th, 2013. That's the day I signed up. But I didn't actually start doing stuff until maybe like late 2013, maybe like late November, December. Really around this time right now, that was when I was actually really starting to get going in the business. That's when I was really like, okay, I'm about to go ahead and actually use the platform that I got so I can go ahead and, create some income for myself. Because at the time I was in college, I was broke. I was living with my parents. The only money I was getting was from them. So I knew I had this opportunity in front of me that I could, one, use it to gain weight and, help with a D1 scholarship for basketball, and two, to create income for myself because at the time I was broke. So my biggest thing when I first got started was just talking to everybody. Like, that was probably the easiest thing for me because I understood that if I talk to more people, I have a better chance of getting a client. You see what I'm saying? Because most people will say, okay, I talked to a couple people, and when they get a couple no's, right, they'll get discouraged and they'd be like, oh, okay, I'm done for the day. And I was like, it didn't matter to me at the time. Well, it still don't matter now, but it didn't matter to me how many people said no, because I was hungry for to change at that point in my life. Like, I needed money, and I realized that if I don't talk, I don't eat. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, in turn, I was talking to everybody. And I was one of the first people. Raise your hand right now if you're a first generation Herbalifer, meaning that nobody in your family did Herbalife before you, or you're probably the first person in your immediate circle to do that, right? Thank you for everybody that participated. So that was the same thing for me. So for me, growing up, I'm from East Oakland, California. If you know what that means, it means that people aren't doing things like this. So when I first started, people was like, so you about to sell vitamins? You about to sell shakes to people and try to make money doing that? And I was like, yeah, pretty much. But it was deeper than that because they didn't see what I saw. You see what I'm saying? They didn't realize at the time, even for me, my vision wasn't what it is now. But at the time, I was like, listen, I know I can make money in the long run while doing it part-time around my college schedule, class, study hall, practice, film, weights, regular life. I understood that I could do this within that, and they didn't get that. So it was all right. They didn't see what I saw. I was going to let them borrow my eyes, though, eventually, a couple of years later. So that was the thing. I talked to a lot of people, a gang of people, and I was just getting no's. I was getting yeses, but the thing was I didn't let it discourage me, and I was allowing it to actually motivate me. I was actually kind of chasing the no's, and I said, okay, if I could get this many no's, that means I'm getting closer to a yes. You see what I'm saying? So if that's what you're going through right now, if you're getting hella no's, just chase the no. What was that? Let me go ahead and, I don't know who that is, but I'm going to go ahead and just mute everybody. Just mute all. Right. 1 second. Let me do this. So that was the thing. I was just chasing the no's. And then as I got hella no's, more yeses came. And then obviously more yeses equaled more clients, that equaled more income opportunity, which fueled me to say, okay, let me go talk to more people. Because like Mark just said, if you were just listening, it's easy to talk to people when you make 10 sales, right? It's easy. You fired up. You like, yo, I just made money. I done got a new client. They want to know about the business. So it's easy for you to talk to more people when you having success. But when those winners come, right, what's your mindset like? So that's one of the things I want to talk about now, because I know a few people as I'm making my tea right now. It's about to get turned up if you already know. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's funny because it's the winter time. So historically, I've been doing Herbalife, like I said, for about 4 years. Historically, around this time is when people start to slow down in their volume and things like that. They feel like people might be not want to spend money on that because it's the holidays. They go on shopping for Christmas. They going on trips, whatever it may be, family time, XYZ. Look, this is the thing. Raise your hand if you have a Netflix account or a Hulu account or something that you pay, a gym membership, something, right? This is the thing. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas. You're not canceling your Netflix account. You're not canceling your Hulu account. You're not canceling your gym membership, right? You're still probably going to go out to eat. You know what I'm saying? You're still probably going to go buy those pair of shoes that you really don't need to go buy, right? So the thing is, if that's the case, if that's the mindset, do not allow people to be like, hey, like it's the holiday time. I don't know if I can buy my package this month. Like, yes, you can, and yes, you will. Okay? Yes, you can, and yes, you will. Because like I said, they're not canceling those other things, so why they want to cut it out on this? This is health. This is your nutrition. This is you getting in shape. So now in reality, you really need to up it around this time because you're probably going to be doing things that you shouldn't be doing. You're going to be eating those cookies that's not on your program. You'll go to the family dinner, the family get-togethers, and you're going to have them sweet potato pies, and you're going to have them biscuits, and you're going to have them rolls when you're not supposed to. That's okay. We got Prolesa for that. You see what I'm saying? We got cellulose for that. We got tea for that. You know what I'm saying? That's when you can add in another product that'll help that person. We got Aminogen for that bloat. You see what I'm saying? So if you come in with the mindset of, oh, it's the winter, it's going to be slow, people aren't going to buy products, right? That's going to permeate into your reality. And if that's permeating your reality, then your volume will be slow, right? So if you want to hit 2,500 this month, you need to be coming in. If you haven't had the mindset yet, right now you need to change your mindset and say, I'm going to blast past 2,500, right? The top volume just came out, what was that, earlier today? We see where everybody's at. What can we do to increase that, right? The same wind blows on us all. So don't think that, because I'm having a better month than somebody else, that the circumstances are the same. It's my mindset. Is how are you setting yourself up? So because of that, because it's one of the slow months, historically, quote unquote, are you guys doing the personal development in the morning? Like, what's your morning look like? Like, seriously though, because this is the thing. I know that some of us on this line don't do personal development every morning. I know it because I used to do that. I used to not do personal development every morning until I said, listen, this is going to set my day up every day, especially in the historically slow months. So therefore, in turn, I got to go get it cracking, right? I got to get my mindset right. I can't wake up going to listening to Travis Scott, right? I can't wake up going to listen to Travis Scott. I cannot do that if I want to be successful. I got to get up and listen to Tony Robbins. I got to get up and listen to Mark Hughes. I got to get up and listen to Jim Rohn. I got to get up and listen to Style Bell. I got to get up and listen to Garen Jones. Somebody that's going to get my mind right, Gary Vee, right? Somebody that's going to get my mind right about how I'm going to act the rest of the day. Am I going to be intentional with talking to people? Am I going to be intentional with my business? Or am I just going to wake up and listen to trap music and think I'm about to get it? Right? And this is the thing, disclaimer on that. You need to have that song. You need to have your song, right? That's going to get you in the mode, right? So I'm going to tell you something. Taylor Swift might not be able to get you in the mode, okay? Ariana Grande might, thank you, next, might not necessarily get you in the mode, right? So for me, that's where trap music comes in. Like, what's your theme song? Right now, if you have a theme song right now, type your theme song in the chat. Type your theme song, the song that gets you pumped, right? For me, it's trap music because when they talk about getting them packs off, I'm just thinking about Herbalife. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about trapping out the bando, I'm thinking about trapping right here, from right here. You know what I'm saying? Sending out DMs. You see what I'm saying? That's my type of thing. So if you have a theme song, type your theme song in the chat. And if you don't have a theme song, it's time to think of one. The song that's going to get you motivated when you don't necessarily feel like you want to go do stuff, right? Because, yeah, personal development is key for your mindset, but you also got to get that, that oomph in you. So after you do the PD, right, that's when you throw on the trap music. Or that's when you throw on the rap. That's when you throw on the Migos when you want to start twerking. Or whatever the cool kids do these days. You see what I'm saying? Right? That's when it's appropriate because you need both. You need the structure, the personal development, right? And then you kind of need the action, the fire with whatever your theme song may be. So you need to have both. You need to have a fine line of both. So think about that. And those are some things that help me get through the winter times. And also with me being like this. At the beginning of this year, I told myself I need to be in a better position in January of next year, right? So what did I do? I showed up and I gave 120 at every event. I showed up and I was ready to learn. How many times we go to events just because we're supposed to go to events? Like, oh, we're supposed to go, you know what I'm saying? Or it's monthly, like that's what they say we're supposed to do. They say if we show up, that's part of it. Like, yeah, showing up is definitely part of it. But it's like, listen, what are you getting from the event? Are you being intentional? Are you writing those notes? Or are you just showing up to take the photos? Because I know that there's people out there that go to the events just to take the photos, just to post them and say, hey, this is what I did. I know that there's people out there like that. But the thing is, who are you being at the event? Who are you being outside of the event? Who are you being when you out there in the marketplace, right? All that is a permeation of what you do when you show up to the events and how you show up, period, in your life. Right. So if you're giving it 120, if you go into the events and you actually learn and taking those notes and applying those notes, then your situation in your business will change, your organization will change, your volume, you'll change pins. Right. I was showing up all year giving it 120 because I know what it's like to just show up because that's what I'm saying. I know what it's like. We're the bad ass city girls. Oh, you ratchet, girl. City girl. She's talking about some city girls. You ratchet. But listen, I know what it's like to go to events by yourself when you have a team, right? I know what it's like to go to events by yourself. I know what it's like to miss your 2,500 cut. I know what it's like when people say they're going to be there and they're not going to be there, right? That's all stemming from the person that you were beforehand. So are you being the person that deserves for those people to show up? Because this is the thing. If you are that person, your people will not show up on you. They're not going to count on you like that. And yes, you may invite 10 people and 10 people say yes, and none of them might not show up. But the thing is, if you consistently stand in the presence of greatness and you show up how you're supposed to, eventually, over time, enough people will come into your business. Enough people will come to the events. And then you won't be by yourself. But then you'll be on stage doing the MC role, and you can look over there and you can see part of your team. You can look here and see part of your team, and you can look there and see part of your team. That was me this weekend. And it was just a year ago. I cannot make this up. I was at an event last year. I don't remember if it was November or December. I was at an event as an active Royal team member by myself, not a soul with me in my organization. And I wrote in my paper, if I'm serious about Herbalife, this cannot be me again, ever. Like, if you're serious about changing your life, you can't be showing up to events by yourself. And now, if you're new, disclaimer, if you're new, yes, like, obviously you're new, you know what I'm saying? But if you've been around, right, and you want to do Herbalife seriously, you want to be a president's team member, millionaire team member, or whatever, anything that was going to substantially and greatly change your situation, your life, you need to take life by the horns and take responsibility for your business and say, hey, I cannot show up to events by myself, period. That's a standard. Like, that's what it's going to have to be for you guys. And me, is when I say you guys, that is me included. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's going to have to be. Because the thing about Herbalife is you cannot move up without other people. So sponsoring, this is what I figured out, if you guys didn't know. If you want to run the checkup, you got to sponsor more people. How do I sponsor more people? I just go talk to way more. Like, it's literally that simple. Like, you guys, like, people be coming up with this crazy stuff like, oh, my DMO. Like, drinking your shake is not part of your DMO. That's a standard. You posting on social media is not a DMO. That's a standard, right? You getting new results, that's a standard. That's not a DMO. Like, a DMO is getting out into the streets and go talking to 5 people. A DMO is going to set up 2 or 3 business presentations throughout the week. You see what I'm saying? A DMO is setting your next event up with the people that you're going to bring. Like, that's the DMO. Like, the little stuff that drinking a shake, drinking tea, that's regular. That's like brushing your teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. Like, it ain't nothing special. You don't get kudos for doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have the 2 shakes a day. You're supposed to have the tea with a lift off and the aloe. You're supposed to be out there talking to people. You see what I'm saying? You don't get extra points, extra kudos for doing the things that's necessary, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you, a lot of people, they be out there, oh, like, I'm gonna make my shake, I'm gonna throw the M&Ms and the caramel sauce on there. Like, that's increasing business. Like, don't fake the funk and don't fake yourself out. That's not increasing business. That may be aesthetically pleasing for you, but how is that running your volume up? How is that getting you more clients right now? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you might get the one person that says, oh my God, I love the way that looks. Out of 1,000,000 times, that's not a good business plan. You see what I'm saying? You need to do the things that's tangible. Getting out to them streets and talking to people. Face-to-face will never go out of style. Social media, I know social media is big. I use social media heavily, definitely. But I am not afraid to go out and talk to them and get into them streets. Like, for me, like, I'll go to the mall and say, I'm not leaving the mall until I talk to 5 people, right? Or until I talk to 7 people or whatever it may be. And now, you guys, and this is the thing that some of my team says, they say, okay, well, what do you say, right? Because it's easy for me to be like, oh yeah, go to the mall, talk to 5 people, or like whatever. Like, no, like, what do I actually say when I go to the mall? Well, one, I go into stores that's relevant to me, right? Like, I'm not going to go into Victoria's Secret. It's not relevant to me. I'm not going to go into Torrid, Hot Topic. That's not relevant to me. So they go automatically look at me like, what is he doing in here? What is this tall black dude doing in this store? He don't belong here. Right? So I go to stores that are relevant to me, like Foot Locker, like if you know Southland Mall, I go to Fitters, right? If you know that store. You know what I'm saying? I may go into Zoomies. You see what I'm saying? I may go into PacSun, basically stores that I could actually shop at. That's essentially what I mean when I say relevant to me. Stores that I could go shop at, that's where I go into, right? And I may go in there and act like I'm looking around, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if they doing their job, they're supposed to walk up to you and say, hey, how can I help you? Right? I don't know if you guys heard me say this before. I don't know if you heard anybody else say this, but what I've actually said, I got this from Jonathan Weber. So he says, hey, how can I help you? Actually, hey, yeah, you can. I'm actually a health coach in the area. I just got started, even though I've been doing it for years. I'm just going to say I just got started, right? I just got started, and I'm looking to build a healthy community, and I actually have some homework to ask people about their health goals. Would you mind helping me, right? 90% of the time, people are like, yeah, I ain't tripping. Like, I'll help you. What's the questions? You know what I'm saying? And then I'll say, oh, let me get your Instagram. Let me get your number. Da-da-da-da-da. Follow up with you. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do, X, Y, Z, right? Giving a quick overview. I'm not necessarily blazing through it because I am going with the conversation. Like, if it's a real conversation, like, yeah, you want to have that. But I'm not just, okay, yeah, this is what I do. Give me your number and I'm out. Like, no, I'm spending a little bit of time there for sure. I want them to remember me, and then I'm going to follow up with them. Maybe that day, maybe the next day, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to follow within the next 2 days because I want to be fresh on their mind. I've actually done that. I did that all of November, right? So all of November, every Saturday, I went to the mall and I did that. I went to go talk to 5 people. I actually ended up getting, 20 people every Saturday. So, except STS, right? So one day I went on another day. So it was 20 people. I actually ended up getting 7 clients just by me intentionally going out into the streets and talking to people. Not sitting behind my phone using social media, not just chilling with the homies. Like, it only took an hour. For me to go talk to 5 people at the mall. 1 hour to go get 7, or so what is that? 5 hours to get 7 clients, brand new, that was outside of my circle, not in my circle of influence. I'm down for that. Now just imagine if you did that every month. 7 times 12? What's 7 times 12? Who does good math? What is that? 94? Is that what that is? 84? Whatever, right? Something like that, right? 7 times 10 is 70, 77. Yeah, 84. So 84 people, 84 brand new clients if you did that all year. What would your business look like if you had 84 brand new retail clients? Think about that. If they ordered 100 volume points each. That's 8,400 volume points that you getting just from doing simple stuff, right? And this is the thing. And this is the thing that you guys got to realize, that by you doing that, you're building a following, right? You're becoming the Herbalife person. I was talking about this on my team call last night, or was that last night or whenever it was? You're becoming the Herbalife person, right? What is it going to take you to become the Herbalife person? And when you're the Herbalife person, what does that consist of? Does that count as the city? Like, the city is yours? The area is yours? The region is yours? Your street is yours? If you're talking about the city, then that means the city is part of your legacy. Everybody in the city is going to be in your organization. So if that's your legacy, what does your business look like? And what is it going to take for you to become the Herbalife person so that everybody knows you, right? Carrying yourself with value, getting these results, feeling really well, and talking to people about that, and creating what you want in your life. Because this is the thing, I've gotten the most people this year. I've sponsored the most people by talking about what it was going to be like when we got there. For those who went to where did we go? Not Tahoe, not Big Bear. What was it? Somebody tell me. Where did we go when we stayed in the cabin? Cinco de Mayo. Wherever we went, right? I can't think of the name, but some of you guys were on the call and I was there. When I said that to you guys then. Thank you, Mark. Yes, Lake Tahoe. Yes. Lake Tahoe. I said, I was talking to people about what I was going to create. I was talking to people about what it was going to be like when we got there. I talked to people about how it's going to be when our name is in lights. That's how I got the most people this year. That's how I was able to sponsor hella people, right? And yes, not everybody stayed around. Yes, some people are zeros, and some people stayed. Some people hit supervisor, right? Some people are in Cut to World team, right? Some people are building their own downline, right? And so now, because I was talking about that all year, now there's organic growth in my organization with or without me. How many of you guys right now will want growth in your organization with or without you? Facts. I'm going to tell you the secret. You got to show up. You got to give it 120. Like, you have to give it 120. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. I know what it's like to not give it 120, and I know what it's like to give it 120, and it's tiring as hell. It is tiring. Like, literally, I go to sleep every day gassed. Because my 120 isn't only about Herbalife. Yeah, I'm going 120 in work. I'm going 120 in the gym. Obviously, I'm getting new results so people can talk about me, right? I'm going 120 and talking to people. I'm going 120 on the calls. I'm showing up for team calls. I'm showing up to do MC roles. I'm showing up to do sections for STSs. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a whole different person than I was last year just because I gave it 120 for 365. If you could give it 120 for 365 for you to change your situation, why wouldn't you do it? because a lot of people are not willing to just do that. Some people want to chill. Some people want to sit back. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, that's doing too much. Is that all you talk about? Yes, damn right. That's all I talk about. Because you know what? In a year from now, and it's only a compound effect. Where is that damn book? That's actually a book that I'm reading right now, Compound Effect. The things that I'm doing now, I'm putting the work in on the forefront, right? That'll only continue to gradually perpetuate on and on and on. So now, as I look at it a year ago, I'm like, damn, I'm in a whole different place. My organization was doing about 2,000. Now we're doing about 9,800. Like, that was in a year of organic growth. Now, if I look at it in another year, we should definitely be doing about 50K in a year from now. But it's only because I showed up and I said, you know what? It's time for me to change my life. It's time for me to take responsibility for what I'm doing, right? So how do we do that, right? It first starts with your results, obviously, right? If you listen, I tell my team this too. If you don't got no results by now, you need to do something, okay? And if you're going to be the Herbalife coach, if you're going to be the Herbalife person in your city, right? There is no more, let's take a standard right now as an organization, right? There is no falling off anymore. There is no, oh, my results ain't as good as they used to be. You can only be getting new results. Like, that has to be a standard for you. Because I'm going to keep it real. There's some people on our team right now that have been having the same results. And that's partially why your business is probably not moving how you would like it to. That's just the facts. So if you don't have a new before and after, it's time to get one, right? And this is the thing. If you're still on your journey, do not allow that to sway you from talking to people, because we all know what it's like, right? When we drink the tea with the lift off and the aloe, right? It feels amazing on the inside. How you feel on the inside might not be a direct representation of how you look physically yet, right? But you know that feeling when you drink that tea. It's fire. It makes you feel really well. So when you go talk to people, they might not see the abs yet, but they might feel how you're talking about it. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So therefore, in turn, you got to take more products, drink more tea, drink more shakes. Personal consumption is huge. You know, we still get paid on personal consumption. I was just talking to my team about that too. We get paid on personal consumption too. So don't think that just because it doesn't count for your leveling up volume, right? We still getting paid on that. So just imagine if everybody in your organization is ordering personal consumption, then we all got stupid results. You still go get paid on that. And now we have the feeling of, hey, I know how these products make me feel. So now when I go into the marketplace to go talk to people, it's way easier because I'm standing in conviction. I'm standing in proof to know that this energy got me hyped. You see what I'm saying? Listen, that tea and that lift off, I've been on it all year. I don't know how many boxes of lift off I done sold this year. I don't know how many containers of tea I done sold this year. Because if you follow me on Instagram, you know I post it every single morning. Tea and lift off. Facts. Now, because of the compound effect of me posting it all year, there's people in my inbox like, yo, what's up with that, bro? It look hella good because I put it in the hot water, it start bubbling up. They like, yo, what's popping with that? Like, it don't look like coffee. You see what I'm saying? It look exciting. So they want to be a part of it. I'm hyping it up so they want to be a part of what I'm doing because, one, my results is stupid, right? I'm making it look cool. I'm consistently doing it. I'm talking about how much the energy is giving me, right? So people are going to want to be a part of it. So that's the thing. Are you being that person? Are you being the Herbalife person in your community? And what is it going to take for you to be that person? And also, with you being the Herbalife person, you guys got to realize that I said this to my team before, you're a lifetime lifeline for people to get healthy. A lifetime lifeline. So whenever somebody thinks about getting healthy, they're going to think of you. They're going to think of, oh, the results that Marty got after having her baby, right? They're going to think about Mark, how he stepped on stage and got stupid results, right? They're going to talk about Steph, how she went and how she was thin at first and now she getting the booty gains on her. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're going to be talking about. So therefore, in turn, you'll always have the retail option forever. isn't that like, that's the dope part about Herbalife. For the next 40, 50 years that it's around, 100 years, forever, right? The retail option is always an extra clip for you to always have. Like, you'll never not be able to retail. You see what I'm saying? Like, even if you're like, oh, okay, I don't really do Herbalife like that. If somebody like, yo, I want to get started, I got 200 right now. It's not that you're going to be like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. Like, you're not going to say that. You're going to take that 200, right? And if you're a supervisor, as you should be, put 100 in your pocket and take the other 100 to send the products. That's forever. Like, that does not go away. Like, and now that we know that, that's exciting. So why not just build on that? Why not just be able to do those things forever, right? Why not be able to teach other people how to retail? Because the way, like I said, the way to run a checkup is to make sure your people get paid. If you can get your people paid, you will get paid. So how can you teach them how to get paid? You got to teach them how to do the basics, retail. Like, you don't got to do all this fancy stuff, put all this nice stuff on these pictures, whatever, all this. Like, you don't got to do all that stuff. If you can teach the basics, use the products, get results, wear the brand so people can see you, share via social media, word of mouth, talking to people, right? If you can teach those 3 things and do it at a high level, then you will start to run your checkup, and then now you are starting to build an organization. Because I'm gonna tell you what, it's nice to get that retail money. Yeah, like, we all know what it's like to get that retail money. We all know what it's like. Like, it's a hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dope, like, awesome. I'm willing to do it, but it's a hustle. But let me tell you, it's nothing like when you get that check and you see 4 digits on that check and you like, yo, it was worth it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was worth it. All those calls that I was doing, all those mentor sessions, all those things like that. When your people finally get it, it's a good feeling. You see what I'm saying? So now, because the promise of the work that I did before allowed me to earn in the next month. Now, because you knew how much work it took for you to get that, now you can gauge whether you want to double it or not. That's the dope part about it. The promise is if you put in the work, you're going to get the results. You're going to get the income. So how can we run it up more? Just talk to more people, period. Like, if you need to get with somebody, if you need to get with a downline member, if you need to get with your sideline to go out and actually talk to people, do it. Because I'm going to tell you, that's the separation between president's team and world team. Talking to more people. Yes, leadership. Yes, showing up. But I guarantee you the people that make the most talk the most. There's a reason why I make the most on my team, because I do the most work. I talk to the most people. You see what I'm saying? There's a reason why people in Herbalife are president's team members, because they probably talk to more people. They probably sponsor more people, right? So that's the only difference. It's the same marketing plan. It's the same shakes. It's the same business. That's the only difference is what we're going to do. And now that you know that, it should be exciting instead of that person's lucky because of XYZ. Like, no, nobody's lucky. All hustle, no luck. I was talking about this last night with my team. I keep saying last night. I don't know if it's Tuesday or whatever. Oh, it's Monday, obviously. But yeah, no, all hustle, no luck, right? If you adopt the mindset, all hustle, no luck, nothing is an excuse for you. 100% responsibility is 0 excuses for what you want out of your life. If you could adopt that mindset, and yes, it's tough. Yes, it's tough to be the no matter what person. Yes, it's tough to be the person that shows up all the time. Yes, it's tough to be the person that has to do everything. But you only have to be that for a short amount of time before other people start to see it and they start to embody that. Because you got to set the pace for your organization. They're only going to do what you do. So if you catting off, they'll cat off, right? If you keep showing up, they'll eventually start to show up. That's just how it goes. And you have to stay around long enough. Because imagine, right? I don't know who's been on as I'm looking on the call right now. Besides Jen, right? I've probably been doing Herbalife the longest out of everybody. Maybe Madi, right? I don't know, I'm not sure. Madi, when did you sign up?
I signed up November. My 5 years was November.
Okay, so I signed up maybe a little bit before Madi, maybe a few months, right? Just imagine you've been doing Herbalife for how long you've been doing it for, and you haven't even met your diamond yet. Like, just imagine if you quit today, you won't even meet your diamond. You won't even meet the person that will change your business forever. Like, that's why you have to stay, because there's going to be somebody that you come across that can be the next Garen Jones, right? That can be the next Style Bell. That can be the next Super Mario. That can be the next Sabet, right? In your downline, right? You haven't even met that person probably, so you have to stay around long enough so you can give that person an opportunity. Because I'm going to tell you what, that person could be somebody that you know right now that's just not ready, right? And just imagine if you quit today and you see them sign up with somebody else that you know and they go all the way. Just imagine that hurt that's going to be like. Imagine one of your best friends, whatever, right? Or somebody that you knew and you've been talking about the business and you're like, you know what, whatever, I'm going to just quit. And they actually finally get signed up with somebody else and you watch their journey and they go to president's team. Imagine what that'll feel like in your heart. That's a hard one to swallow. That's a hard one to swallow. And all you had to do was just stay around. All you had to do was just keep showing up. All you had to do was just keep bringing people. All you had to do was just keep drinking the shakes. All you had to do was just keep getting on the calls. That's all you have to do. Yes, it's maybe difficult to make $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, right? But the things that we have to do, just like Mark Hughes said, the things that we must do to make that money is not difficult at all. It's actually quite simple, right? But what's easy to do is easy not to do. It's easy to not drink that second shake. It's easy to not get on the call when you say you're going to get on. It's easy to just miss one STS, right? It's easy to say, you know what, I'll just call you tomorrow. It's kind of late. It's easy to do those things. But those might be the moments that you might make a breakthrough, I promise, right? I didn't want to go to JKO this year. I did not want to go because of I was getting tickets. The end of 2017, I had got hella tickets, and 2018 came and I said, okay, you know what? It's going to be a new me, and I'm not getting no more tickets. I got another ticket on the way to JKO, and I was pissed. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to go to JKO. But I'm so glad I went to that event, because that event is what allowed me to really catch what I was going to get this year. That allowed me to ride my wave this year. You see what I'm saying? And so now, as I look back on it, it was supposed to happen like that, right? Like, I'm grateful to say it was supposed to happen like that. I was talking about what we're going to do at Extravaganza. That happened at Extravaganza. Like, I made that my reality. I talked about it. How I talk about us bringing 50 people to New Orleans next year to Extravaganza, right? I'm talking about that because that's what it's going to be, 50 people, right? Organization-wide. You have to talk about you hitting your global expansion team cut this year, or this year coming up. You have to talk about you going on your mill team run this year. You have to talk about you sponsoring 100 people, right? You have to talk about you getting 25 new supervisors frontline. Like, these are things you have to say, because when you say it, it puts you in a mindset that allows your actions to follow. You have to live in it first before it actually happens, right? Like, when Global Expansion Team happens for us, which is happening very soon, I'm not going to be surprised because I'm already living in it right now. It's already manifested in my mind. So when it happens, awesome. This is already part of the story. It was already written, right? Second cut, boom, it was already written. Third cut, fully qualified Global Expansion Team member, Jerry Cooper. Boom, it was already written. Now let's go for this meal team run. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what it has to be for you. You have to have it engraved in your mind that this is what it's going to be like, and I'm creating my life, and I'm not going to allow nobody else to. If that makes sense, right? It's all about mindset, because that's what I've been on all year. My action has always been there. I always was talking to people. I was always doing volume, but it was the mindset behind the action would change from last year to this year. And that's what made me be a whole brand new person, because for anybody that really knows, like, for sidelines, like, you guys might kind of know whatever, because you're not necessarily in tune like that. For Jen, knows, because obviously she's my upline and we talk about it, right? My sponsor, Patrick Livingston, knows. You see what I'm saying? My downline, my front line, especially, they know. I wasn't this person a year ago. I had to change. I had to strip myself down. I had to become new. I had to be almost reborn, almost, right? It was necessary for me if I wanted to go somewhere else. I needed to do different things if I wanted to get to a different place. I had to become a brand new person. I had to do more if I had to become more if I wanted more. That was a bar. I didn't make that up though. Jim Rohn did. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Jimmy. right? If you want more, you must become more. So if you guys don't know anything about personal development, that's something that you really need to do every day. Reading books, listening to videos, podcasts. Podcasts has really been my thing a lot lately. I don't know if you guys listen to that, but these are things that I do that personally help me. And honestly, guys, I would say the biggest thing that helped me this year was just literally giving no excuses. Like, just showing up. Like, I know I keep saying that, but it's really that simple. I was just showing up. I say, okay, yeah, y'all need me to do it? Okay, it's good. I'll do it. Right? You want me to do a call? Okay, I'll do the call. I showed up. And that's the thing, too. I got more in depth with my team. I started asking my team, what do you want? I started doing personal team calls. Right after Extravaganza, I believe, I started doing personal team calls. People started plugging in. They started getting more information. They started to do a little bit more volume. And if you don't have an organization to do team calls with yet, you need to continue to plug into our organization-wide call, right? And bring people. Like, talk to people about what it's going to be like. I keep saying that, but that's literally all I've been doing. Like, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just not giving any excuses. I'm continuously showing up. I'm staying in continuous action. And I keep talking to people about what my life is going to be like in the next couple of years. And I keep talking to people about the money part. This is what you can create. You can make money, right? Because everybody wants money. Nobody does. Listen, for your friend that's a waitress, right? For your friend that's working at the warehouse, for your friend that's a taxi driver, for your friend that's driving Lyft, right? If they've been doing that for X amount of years, it's okay for you to ask them, hey, what's your next plan? What's your next 3, 5, 7 years look like at this job, right? Because a waitress, the biggest thing that you could get out of being a waitress is maybe a store manager, right? But if you drive Lyft for 3, 4 years, they're not going to say, oh, you can be the CEO of our company because you've been doing great service all year or for the last 3 years. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to make you the owner of the warehouse because you've been lifting boxes and driving tractors all fucking year. Excuse my language, right? Right? They're not going to do that. So it's okay for you to talk about what the next 7 years going to be like, or what's the next 5 years going to be like, what's the next 2 years going to be like. Okay, look, this is what I'm doing over here, and this is what I want to create, and I really want you to be a part of it, right? Imagine what it would be like if we could travel the world. Imagine what it would be like if we could have all the money that we want to. Imagine if we can give back to our families, right? Like, yeah, it's dope to have a lot of money, but what's your purpose behind the money, right? Talk about your purpose to people. That's been a big thing for me, too. I've been talking about my purpose, not only making a lot of money, not only traveling, not only speaking on stage, not only inspiring people, not only wearing the nice clothes, right? Driving nice cars, living in a nice house, right? Yes, those things are very important. That is what drives me, but also my purpose behind it. What are you going to do with that money? Like, what's the bigger goal? Are you going to give back? Are you going to create donations? Are you going to be able to set up generational wealth for your family? Things like that is what people get tied into deeper than just money, cars, and fashion, right? They want to know what's really going to make you tick. What's really the reason why you're going so hard, right? And at first, I didn't have that. Yeah, what drove me was making a lot of money, looking at my bank account and having a lot. But then I realized I need a purpose behind it, because the purpose was going to get people to stay no matter what. The purpose was going to get people to stay in the winners. The purpose was going to get people to show up when they don't want to show up, right? Because this is the thing. Most people will be attached to you and your vision before they create their own vision. So your vision got to be powerful enough where they say, yo, I want to support that because that makes sense. So if you don't have a vision yet, if you don't have a purpose yet, it's time to think about it. That was a big thing for me too, because I had a 15K presidency member, Keon Owens, on one of our team calls, maybe a few months ago or whatever, 2 months ago or whatever, right? And a big thing that I got from him was, he said, you can never run out of energy for your passion, for your purpose. And I said, yo, like, what's your purpose? My purpose, I would like to stop gun violence in Oakland. That's one of my purposes. I lost a family member to gun violence in Oakland due to that. So therefore, in turn, if I could create something that will slow it down or completely stop it, that would be awesome. That's my purpose. So therefore, in turn, it's mandatory for me to hit president's team. That's the only way I can afford it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'll do all that previous stuff, travel the world, go. We see people do that all the time. We follow people that do that all the time on Instagram, right? Travel the world, speak on stage. We just saw Style in South Africa for like 2 weeks, living that life. You know what I'm saying? I'm hella jealous. I'm like, I want to be in Africa too. You know what I'm saying? But deeper than that, though. Yes, I want to stop the gun violence in Oakland. Yes, I want to preserve Black Lives Matter in Oakland. Yes, I want to start a foundation for kids after school in Oakland, right? Because that's where I'm from. That's my purpose. What's yours? Think about it. Think about it, write it down, and have that in your mind when you talk to people, right? It's bigger than just me. It's bigger than just shape. It's bigger than making a lot of money. It's about the impact that you can create after. It's about leaving the legacy after you're gone. It's about the story that'll be talked about after you leave, right? What's the story gonna be like? Because how it's told is what's important. How people talk about you is important, right? You want people to say, yo, Madi inspired me. She went after her dreams, and I'm happy I'm here today because she did that. Or they can be like, yeah, Madi was just doing the regular, going to work thing. Raise their daughter, all that type of stuff. Right? Steph, she went for her dreams, and because she went for her dreams, now I can go for mine because she allowed me the opportunity to go for it. Or, nah, because I'm going to tell you something. There's going to be somebody like me, right, that was in the back of the room when you first go to your first Herbalife event that wasn't sure that if plan A didn't work out, what's their plan B? That's why you need to stay around, because there's going to be somebody that needs you for that. Because I promise, like I said, if I wasn't going to the NBA, I don't know what I was going to do. And if I wasn't doing Herbalife right now, I don't know what I would be doing right now. I promise. I might be doing something that would get me in trouble. Like, seriously, though. But because I had the plan B, which is now plan A, right? It allowed me to be this person who I am now instead of getting into trouble, following the path of my friends, doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, and ending up in places that I don't want to end up in. Like, you have to be that person for your community, for that person, for the individual that needed the opportunity, right? And that person that really needs the opportunity might be your first diamond. That's why you got to stay around, because if you don't, you'll miss out and you're being selfish. It's selfish of you to quit because you're quitting on everybody that's going to come after you. You're quitting on your family. You quit because the thing about this is the thing. If you quit on your president's team run, what you going to do? Go back to work and think you're going to make president's team money? President's team lifestyle? Like, let's be real, right? Unless you just gain amazing athletic ability, right, to go play professional sports, unless you astronomically increase your lyricism and you become a rapper or a singer, right? Unless you hit the mega lotto and you get 50 million dropped on you, right? There's pretty much nothing that we can do as far as right now that's going to change our life drastically at this point. So therefore, in turn, we might as well just stay around and have fun on the way and be ripped doing it, and travel the world doing it, having smiles doing it, drinking tea doing it, taking pictures doing it, making friends doing it, having hella fun doing it, right? That's why we call the Do It 24 crew, because we do it. We have hella fun, we do it. We make money, we do it. We travel, we do it. We inspire, we do it. We just do it all. I wasn't there when Jen and them created the name, but it was a video that they said where the dude was like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Y'all got to ask Jen about that video. I had signed up a little bit after that. Y'all got to ask her about it. But it was basically a video that they saw in LA where the person was like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And they came up with the name. Let's just be Do It 24 crew. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, awesome. Right. All questions, good questions. If we don't got no questions, it's all good. We have that call in 30 minutes with Jerry about nutrition club training. So if you're interested in running a nutrition club, if you're interested in finding out the foundational methods to it, 7:30 is when it starts. So 30 minutes from now. The link is posted in the group chat. You guys saw it, right? Thumbs up if you guys saw it. Okay, cool. So hop on if you want to. It's not mandatory at all, but it's going down. I know that there's people on my team that want to do it, so I'll be getting on. If you're interested at all in thinking running one or being a part of one, you should get on. Other than that, though, that's really it for me. Like, it wasn't really too structured about what I was going to say. Jen asked me if I wanted to do a call. I said, yo, it's good. I'll do it, right? Just showing up, right? Hopefully you guys got some value from it. But my thing is, if you really want to know anything specific, you can just call me and ask me, or what I'm actually specifically doing, because there's a bunch of stuff that's not I didn't have enough time to say exactly what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? But the mindset behind it, some of the things that I believe and some of the staples that I embody is what I wanted to talk about today. Other than that, though, that's it. The call will be it's recorded right now. I'm gonna post it in the chat. I'm gonna see y'all in 30 minutes. Y'all can get on. 2018 is about to end. Keep applying pressure. Keep being yourselves and keep going hard. I'm gonna see y'all.